This is my 4th week of doing my 26-week program, so after this week there'll be 22 weeks. That's math. They taught us that in Broadhead Elementary, where I went to school. It was one of the things that we learned, other than how to collect eggs and, shear sheep and all that stuff. I went to school in Broadhead, Wisconsin. That's where the only teachers they have are the farmers whose crops aren't coming in right. Big cheese town in Broadhead, Wisconsin. Every year we have the cheese festival, and we had had this lady to come out dressed as a model in a swimsuit. Nothing like I think it was like Miss Cheese. I think that was what it was. It was like Miss Cheese. And girls would have to enter this contest to be Miss Cheese. They had to, probably take pictures of themselves, and they had to go up and say what they wanted to be when they grew up, and it most likely was something to do with farming or making cheese or things like that, milking cows. So I just remember that they never were very attractive looking, and I apologize if I missed some of the nice ones, and somebody actually watched this video and they were the Miss Cheese in Broadhead, Wisconsin back in the early 80s. I remember they always fairly large. Miss Cheese was a lady who looked like she probably liked to eat a lot of cheese, and that probably had something to do with why she won. I don't know who the judges were, but considering where the town was, probably was farmers, probably dairy farmers. Their idea of what a hot woman, was probably wasn't exactly the same as what Instagram would say in 2020. Who knows? I mean, I remember 20 years ago, 30 years ago, there was a big butt would have been like an insult. You tell a girl she's got a big butt. Now you say, well, you have a big butt. The girl will be like, thank you. So here comes squats, doing 310. 25 is the rep goal for the day. Doing 5 sets, we got 5 chances. If all those chances add up to 25, I win. If I get past 25, then I win extra weight. In Broadhead, there used to be there still is, an airport right on the edge of town. And my dad was friends with the owner of the airport. And his name was Dick Whedon. I don't know if he's around still. It's been quite a few years, but the guy, I don't know if they didn't have the same rules they have nowadays, but him and my dad would go take us flying, and while they were up there, they were just drinking a ton, and I remember this, and the guy would my dad was not a pilot, my dad was, he wasn't a farmer, he was a machinist, but, tool and die worker, actually, but he actually, I can remember my dad took over, and the guy, Dick, said, yeah, just go ahead and land it. And my dad, kind of like me, oh, okay. And sure enough, we were heading right down for the ground, and we touched down. My dad was driving the plane. We went back up, and we went back down, and all of a sudden, there's a fence, and I'm sitting in the back, a kid. I was sober, probably one of the only people in the plane that was sober. And I see this fence coming up, and Dick Whedon, luckily, mostly back then, I guess drunk driving wasn't quite as bad as it is now, so people were used to it. My dad used to like to take a drink right before he, one for the road, you could say. But anyways, So as this fence is coming up, my dad is, I don't know, he seems like he's confident, but Dick Whedon and it took over. There's always 2 steering wheels, and apparently Dick had the one that he could just flip my dad's off and then take over. And we went back up and landed, and as you can see, I'm still alive. One of those stories from Broadhead my wife loves so much. My wife grew up, I always say she kind of had a Huxtable-like existence. Cosby Show back in the 80s. My wife's family, they're like college professors, and all the kids went to college and got master's degrees and everything. Me, I didn't even know what a master's degree was. I learned what a master's degree was, I think, when I was like 24 years old. I never even heard of one. I think that's probably around the same time I learned what a bachelor's degree was. I didn't go to college until I was older, like 25, 26. But I mean, I was just trying to learn the lingo of a college person. I had a job, I was a manager. And in order to get the job, one of the things I did was I told them I had a bachelor's degree in marketing, which was fine. They actually never checked, and it worked out okay. I worked there for 5 years, and I had a bachelor's degree in marketing. I barely knew. I read a book. Actually, it's called The Wizard of Marketing, and that is my background in learning about marketing. And they put me in charge of all the advertising for that company. And I think I did a good job. We were really busy back then. Built a lot of houses. But eventually I decided that I wanted to actually go to college, and then I did. And after having worked in business for about 7-8 years, then I go to college, and I'm like, oh my god, a lot of this is like going back to high school. And then when you finally do get to the business classes are dumb, right? They had this one class, just label the weights here. So on the rear bar squats, I was able to get 27 done, so that means that I get to add weight for the next session, which will be on Friday. This is a Tuesday. Now I'm doing the loathsome front squats, and I don't care about the weight too much on these. I'm just trying to get my balance and trying to do this movement right. I want my feet somewhat close together, and I want my knees pointed going forward, so I'm working in that middle section of my quads in this. And this is just like a burnout exercise anyways. So the real work is coming from the rear bar squat, or the low bar squats. And then this is just, if I was in a health club, I'd be doing leg extensions right now. So anyways, this class, and I was really about it too, because you got these professors or these teachers, I don't know if they're professors, I suppose, telling you that the way you make decisions in a business is you take out a piece of paper and then you draw a line on it, and then you draw lots of lines coming off of it at a 45-degree angle towards the rear, and now you write what is the decision that you have to what's the question that's at the front of the fish. This is a fishbone analysis, and then you have to write down all the possible options, and off of those options all the possible outcomes, and then the options that would they have it in these. I said this to the instructor, and I didn't do it in class, or maybe I did, I was kind of rude. I said, this is completely BS. Nobody does this. Nobody. And it's not like we were, I don't know where that would fit in, other than academia. In the real world, I mean, sure, you want to have a lot of information, but in business, you're making decisions every single day. Not one decision, lots of decisions. It doesn't matter what level of business. Nobody has time to sit there and draw a fishbone analysis. And if they do, then you're going to get downsized. Well, anyways, I finished that. And I work in sales. And the best thing I got out of college was art history. I did like art history. I learned a lot. And it's really made going to museums enjoyable. The Chicago Art Museum is fantastic. So on these rows that I'm doing, I don't have any higher weight that I can use, although I'd like to. The goal reps are 50. So 10 reps per set. And I'm supposed to actually let those actually hit the ground and then squeeze them back up. So anyway, that'd be nice if I had more weight, because I think I can get quite a few more in. I don't feel like I'm actually burning out, even when I go to 11 or 12 at least. But for now, let me just, if I can do 15 for 5 cents, I'll probably break down and buy some more dumbbells. Bigger ones. My wife came in and during this workout, she had a baby and she didn't say anything to me. The night before, I had been kind of a jerk, and she asked me if I could go pick up the baby, and I didn't see the text until it was time to pick up the baby, and I had just changed to get ready to work out, and she'd sent the text an hour earlier, but I think this is right where she comes in, actually. Oh, there she is. So she doesn't say anything to me now because on this night, because we're still a little bit, we've got the after effect of the fight, because I wasn't nice. I didn't feel like she was respecting my time or something. And then instead of being gracious with her, I was not. So I was just a big jerk. So luckily she forgives me when I'm a big jerk. But if she was ever a big jerk, I would forgive her too. And I'm waiting for that day to happen. So I guess I do let her keep that dress right there in my weight room, so that's pretty nice of me. And Broadhead, we were poor. My wife, her family was rich by comparison, and a lot nicer. I don't think her dad liked to get hammered right before he take the kids up for a nice ride in an airplane, and then him not being a pilot, just start, flying it, trying to land. Kids love that. So going into these weighted pull-ups, I decreased the weight this week on my program, the actual design of the program that I made. And I actually found out that I was actually not reaching the goal that I was supposed to. So I'm supposed to be hitting 24 repetitions per session. But I was doing a 45-pound plate, and I really could only do 6, maybe 7 if I was lucky, per set. I got 3 sets to get 24. So that just tells me that I'm using too much weight. I'd rather do no weight than to be under on the overall goal each week. So this week I've dropped it down to 35 pounds, and I'm making sure that I hit 8 repetitions per set, and if I do, hopefully I can run it for you. Oh no, it was over. So next week it'll be 35 pounds again, and I learned a lesson right when I was doing these shrugs here. I had the dumbbells sitting on the floor, and so I had to do a deadlift to get them off the floor, and then I dropped them, banged on my ankle. So in between sets there, during the rest, I stacked up some plates and set the dumbbells on the plates. Gave myself a little table. That worked better. So I was looking at some medical thing today on the internet, and it said that I'm overweight. I should be weighing 173 pounds for my height. So my risks of heart problems and stuff are higher because of my weight. That ain't good. So I think about that. I'm gonna address that. That's the end of the workout. Thanks for watching.